Finally, Krushia and her three best friends were on the direct path to the house, which they had seen far away up on the mountain edge. As they quickly approached the house, their emotions were flooding with excitement and curiosity. But once they arrived in front of the house, they looked at it dispiritedly as they slowly approached the front steps. The house appeared to be deserted and severely tattered.
Whoa!
Oh, goodness gracious! That was so close. Thank you so much, Sparks.
Great looking out.
You are as fast as lightning. My pleasure, Krushia. It is reassuring to know that my mental power still works because it looks like it will come in handy here.
Since we have come this far, I think we should check out the house. It looks like the only place where we can take shelter and rest. In this land, we don't know what to expect throughout the day.
We are with you, Krushia.
Let's do this.
Krushia and the cats walked up the steps onto the porch and squeezed through the half-open door. They noticed the quick, dramatic shift from a dimly lit room to a brightly lit one.
Wow! How
did that happen?
While entering through the front door, Krushia looked to her left in the direction of the bright light as it illuminated the room. All of them turned toward the brightness, which led them into the living room, where sunlight streamed through a huge window. In a spotlight cast by the beaming light, Krushia saw a strange, flat square shape and thin material lying on the floor, and she picked up the unique-looking item.
What is that?
The composition of the article was surprising to their eyes and intriguing to their minds, since it was something they had never seen before. In Nussie, the paper is long, wide, thicker, and has a rough texture. After being struck with enthusiasm over the new, sleek, and exceptionally thin material just introduced to them, astonishing to Krushia, she recognized the written language on the lightweight material. She now knew that it was a newspaper.
Due to the disastrous meteorite showers over the past couple of days, many homes have suffered catastrophic damage. The people had to abandon their homes because they could not afford to repair their property.
Krushia had mixed emotions. The news was sad, yet she was ecstatic that she could understand this legendary language that her father taught her several years ago.
I never imagined that I would come across this language, nor did I ever think that I would travel to another world either.
Krushia then looked at the cats.
Could I be dreaming? But that is impossible because I feel tired and hungry.
Me too. Can you feel tired and hungry in a dream? We cannot all be dreaming the same dream, could we?
I know that someone can enter into your dreams. Still, I've never heard of several individuals being entangled in the same vision before.
What we are experiencing is not a dream.
So far, we have experienced an extraordinary day.
Undoubtedly, they have embarked on a span of unexpectedly surreal events. Unknowingly to them, it has been much longer than a day since they entered Krushia's favorite forest back in their homeland, Nasi, and were pulled swiftly into a magnetic field and dropped onto a meteorite. Due to the meteorite going faster than the speed of light, they were knocked unconscious. Indeed, a genuinely remarkable voyage, as the meteorite flowed in and out, parallel in other dimensional worlds, like a ship traveling on liquid energetic waves. Krushia, Sparks, Silver, and Patch slept for thousands of years until the meteorite arrived at the predetermined frequency spot, guided by the universal necklace around Krushia's neck. It wasn't easy for them to enter this dimension. They had to wait for the right moment. And when it happened, the electric field instantly snapped them up into an electromagnetic field created by the current meteorite storm in this world, which allowed them to enter into this world's atmosphere. They harshly awakened when simultaneously they were thrown from the meteorite. Into the mountainside, Krushia regained consciousness and slowly gathered composure to stand up. He immediately noticed that he had transformed into another body. He was a girl with a bronze tone, And when Krushia looked across from her, she was shocked to see Sparks, Patch, and Silver as cats. They slumbered and traveled through space and time for thousands of years until finally entering this reality to wake up finding themselves in different bodies. They found it all fascinating, yet they were puzzled.
What happened? Why are we here? What should we do now?
I have a hunch. Let's walk this way. I believe it is the best route.
Krushia and her three best friends felt anxious as they walked forward in this unknown environment, unaware of what would happen next. Suddenly, the new arrivals to this foreign land felt relieved when they caught a glimpse of a house in the far distance, situated in a woodsy area. Seeing this house gave them hope and a burst of motivation to continue walking in the house's direction, in anticipation that someone living there could answer their questions and provide them with a place to rest after what had begun to feel like a never-ending day. After several hours of walking across and then down the mountainous terrain, Krushia and her best friends began to notice a slight difference in the sunlight. They thought it was strange, considering in Nussie, the sunlight, which they call the soul light, remained the same all day long, except when it was about to rain, and then the clouds would cover the sun.
Oddly, the soul light decreases, but there are no rain clouds above.
When they turned the next corner, there they were, the sun and a star, sitting high and full, beaming brightly in the sky. They stopped abruptly in a state of disarray. They knew what the sun was, but this big silver, white, and bluish ball of light in the sky, they had never seen anything like it before.
Unbelievable. This reality has two sources of light in the sky.
They began to walk again as they occasionally stared up at the star with wondrous thoughts and confused eyes. Then at the next corner, they landed at the entrance to the forest that was in the same direction as the house. When they entered the forest, it was like they had passed through a portal into a dreamy kingdom of splendor and colorful life. Krushia and her three best friends felt a zap in their senses, giving them an immediate enhancement and engagement into everything in their surroundings at that moment. To their eyes, the environment was a glowing, misty atmosphere with tall, skinny trees that spread up amazingly high and displayed brilliant, multicolored leaves. The sights dazzled as far as their eyes could see. Above and ahead of them were schools of colorful birds and butterflies flying and swooping all around. What lay directly in front of them was an entirely covered pathway with a beautiful array of vivid red leaves with sporadic sprinkles of bright yellow leaves on top. And when the leaves slightly shifted as the wind blew, it gave an optical illusion of a flowing red, sparkly golden royal carpet going entirely down the pathway. This realm enhanced their senses, even to hear the soft, gentle whisper of the air flowing through the leaves and then spinning around their faces. The air carried a delicious aroma that permeated the forest, delivering a minty, sweet, and honey smell to the nose and taste in their mouths. To the touch, the light breeze felt refreshing and left smooth moisture on their skins from the mist in the air. Then something even more mind-boggling occurred. The birds began to sing, and as they sang, their feathers lit up like colorful light bulbs in the sky.
This is a spectacular presentation.
The birds sung sounds were harmonious tones to them and gave them a warm and friendly feeling and a treat to their ears.
Oh my.
So breathtakingly.
Beautiful.
There are small insects with colorful wings floating in the air. What captivating diversity of life! We are in an utterly fantastic habitat.
This was the second enchanted forest that they had walked into in what seemed to them to be the same day. But this forest looked different. It felt different, and it even had a flavored taste. Although they had seen birds in Nussie, they were not such colorful birds as these. They had never seen butterflies before, or colored leaves other than the different shades of green. Therefore, the color in the scene was eye-popping experience for them. They continued along the path to their destination, looking all around in admiration. But this forest was exhibiting an abundance of liveliness and sublime natural beauty. When they reached the end of the road, there was a split into two trails.
I recall the houses to the north.
They turned right. They could see the cabin's walking path from where they were. Then right at that moment, it was as though a dark cloud hovered above them. And when they looked up, they were startled to see a gigantic bird. The shadow of this bird's massive body, with its extended wings, completely engulfed them in darkness.
What kind of creature is this hovering?
Stay calm and don't stop walking.
The bird moved past them, continuing to fly forward. Krushia and her three best friends paused from walking. They were hypnotized for a moment by its exquisite, colorful feathers, enormous size, and majestic qualities. The bird's beauty was unlike anything they'd ever seen before.
Did you hear what the bird said?
I only heard it make a long and loud sound.
Me too.
The bird said hello and welcome to our world.
Krushia, that means that you can verbally communicate with the animals, as we all do in Nessie.
That's interesting. Why didn't you all hear the words that the bird spoke? And how did it know that we're strangers to this world?
Well, perhaps we'll find out soon.
They marched forward with a happy disposition, feeling welcomed and delighted to be in this mesmerizing new land.
It has been quite a phenomenal journey thus far, traveling through space and ending up in a new body, in a different world.
This is a marvelous journey, a new life in a new land. Yes, we have encountered numerous new things that we have not known or seen before. Except for the language that Krushia's father taught her long ago. That's interesting.
Let us separate and scope out the house to see if it's safe for us to stay.
Traveling way back in time, life's reborn in a female form. The body's changed, but her spirit's still the same. She goes now to this foreign land to help the people understand. By living through our hearts, we can build a better life for us. Traveling way back in time, life's reborn in a female form. The body's changed, but her spirit's still the same. She goes now to this foreign land to help the people understand. By living through our hearts, we can build a better life for us.